Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jojin Movie So Awesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
Today we're going to talk about Thor, Love and Thunder. Spoiler alert.
Major spoilers.
Ahead. Please turn off the video if you haven't watched the movie. Now let's go. So, I'm going to go right off the bat and say this was entertaining but a very flawed movie. It was very entertaining.
I agree. So, ever since, what was it?
Ragnarok?
The Eternals, I kind of decided to let go of my expectation.
You're talking about Phase 4?
Yeah, of further Marvel Cinematic Universe series. And I think it's because I didn't expect much from this movie that I was actually entertained. If I was watching this movie, I mean, imagine if I watched this movie right after, like, the end game of the Avengers. I would have shit all over this movie. But since, I wasn't expecting much, it was entertaining. But I believe it failed to reach its full potential with the storyline.
Yeah, I felt it was a little loose. I didn't mind the actual plot details. I just felt like there was 10 to 20 minutes missing to make the pieces fit together.
Yeah, so you know how most Marvel movies these days, they span 2 hours, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But this was surprisingly short because I think it was 2 hours.
Yeah, just under
maybe,
2 hours.
Maybe it was less than 2 hours.
Just the screen time alone without the credits. No, but it's a little bit. I was a little bit disappointed because I really loved Ragnarok though.
Yeah.
And I think if I compare it, I think I can see the problem here is I think Ragnarok, despite it being also a little janky, had a central theme of Thor losing his father, being put down to the ground,
and the secrets of his sister.
Yeah, but finding that problem back, and there was that central theme of family.
That's right.
And another thing I have to say, this is a simpler answer. Loki isn't here. That's a problem.
Oh, that's right.
Every Thor movie, 1, 2, 3, had Loki, and then because I would say this movie is better than Thor 1 or 2, but I still had more fun with 1 and 2 because of the Loki and Thor drama. But the first one, the Loki and Thor drama, was a little bit more serious, but the second one is when they start to do the jokes that we like. And I think it had those movies had, the prior movies had just the more right balance. Here, the problem is, I think they should... We put the title as Love or Thunder because if they were going to go all thunder, just F it. Just this is purely entertainment. We're not trying to be serious. Then they should have just gone that way.
That would have worked better. One thing I did like though was the color I saw from the third Thor, Ragnarok. I could still see the same theme and the color in the fourth movie,
and the jokes too.
Yeah, and I think it's because we have the same director.
Yeah,
so that's one thing I liked.
Yeah, but the jokes, I think, because have you seen his movie called Living in the Shadows about these vampires? No. He does a lot of quirky jokes, but here I felt like he put in more of his own color, even more than Ragnarok. Because in Ragnarok, I think they originally wanted Odin to be like a beggar on the street, but I think the studio intervened and that's not Odin, that's not character. But here I think they just said go do whatever you want, or Kevin Feige didn't care, and you have goats screaming, and then you have Zeus.
Oh yeah, that goat was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, because
it sounds like a human scream.
The jokes were funny, except they just kept interrupting this major plot line of and one thing I didn't like is, now what is an eternity? Another MacGuffin that can change the universe. This is the big problem with Marvel movies is every one of these things is universe shaking, but they just pop out of nowhere and then disappear.
Remember the Celestials from the Eternals?
Yeah.
So then who's more mighty?
Yeah.
No. These Celestials or Eternity? I know that all these Marvel Comics fans, they would probably know all this, but since I don't know all the the power ranking of these supreme beings in the Marvel universe, I was very confused.
And another problem I noticed is that Marvel disasters are competing with their own big disasters. I think the reason why Spider-Man or Doctor Strange went multiverse is after Thanos, the disaster that was Thanos wiping off the universe, they have to up the scale of the disaster, right?
Yeah.
So these solo movies, the problem is their disaster is either so redundant or they are subservient to the major like crisis, so we don't feel any danger at all.
Yeah.
Like I knew the moment that like they said the slide like he's heading through eternity that can change the universe.
Remember just before this we had seen, what was it? Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it kind of takes out the sense of urgency in these movies because we're not exactly sure if this is happening all throughout the multiverses, or is this just limited to a single universe? Because then I don't think it would be much of an issue.
No, and what is wrong with like I agree with that. And what is wrong with like Ragnarok and Thor and this movie is I love the Hela in the Ragnarok. I wish she had more screen time. Here, that problem is worse. I'm fascinated with this God Butcher guy.
Yeah.
Like, why does he get like 10 minutes screen time? That's what I mean by like the 10 minutes is I need another monologue by him. Like, you open the movie with the guy, but he's gone for like, I kidnapped children, yes. And then he's off already. And I don't know what the hell is going on.
He was super intriguing. I especially liked him the moment in the scene where he was scaring the kids. Yeah. We needed more Christian Bale time on the screen.
I could tell he was having fun, like just like Kate Blanchett, like doing this weird like psycho bad guy, like pushing the limit of Disney villains. I chop head in front of kids. No, but like suddenly like he's gone, and then another problem is there's like they don't give us any like breather between the intense comedy and then the intense like violence.
Yeah.
Like there's like so janky. And I think the problem was maybe the movie was supposed to be even so much longer that they just edited.
So I gotta wonder, would there be like a director's cut for the movie?
I don't think so. I don't think Marvel ever had a director's cut though. But don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun, but I just felt like there wasn't a central narrative that we can follow until the end where I want to like watch this again. Like, cause Ragnarok, I gotta be honest. Like every time, like I watch every like Kate Blanchett scene again and again and again because she was so fascinating. And here, like there wasn't enough setup for the bad guy too.
And also not just the bad guy, but also Jane Foster, because you know how.
Oh, we have to talk about
we had an entire movie dedicated to Thor proving his worthiness in the first movie to become Thor again. And now we have Jane Foster who just becomes a lady Thor. And I don't know where she learned to fight, but she somehow does it within like the span of 3 minutes.
No, but the movie tried to explain that as Thor like putting a spell on like Mjolnir and saying protect her, which I found kind of odd. Because, like, I don't mind the like woman Thor, which is from the comics. Like, it was just so kind of like, so is she a feminine icon, or do you still need a boyfriend to do that? And I don't know.
And remember, this is a hero movie, and you know how in a hero movie we always need a scene for transformation, and I think they kind of left that out for Jane Foster.
No, but
she doesn't get the transformation scene that she deserves.
No, but I actually didn't mind it that much because I just felt like the reason why I didn't mind it that much was I felt like the first 30 minutes was all like fast, so that we can get to the God Butcher conflict. Except the problem for me was the God Butcher conflict never got to like materialize big because another problem is I don't think there's a history between God Butcher and Thor. In the prior movies, so Hela's your sister. Of course, that's going to cause drama. Your father lied to you. And the first one, you're fighting the enemies that your father defeated. And the first one is basically like Shakespeare, Hamlet, all mixed up together. But here, like, the enemy is just a random guy. A random guy who says, I'm going to kill, let's say he comes to Korea, I'm going to kill every Korean. We don't even know who he is, but we're going to kill him. Boom. So, like, the sophistication of the villain conflict goes down. It's just another anime episode.
I think this is the same mistake they made in the first Doctor Strange.
Oh,
where
right.
they completely wasted Mads Mikkelsen.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's a good point.
They had the same mistake, if I think about it.
No, but like that one was worse because it turns out Mad wasn't even like the big guy, and Dormammu comes up, and then but see, here's the difference between Doctor Strange and this one though. Doctor Strange had no pretensions of being serious. Like there was no one with cancer. There was no adopting thing going on.
Good point.
There was like once Strange found his power, he was like, "Yeah, I was arrogant bastard, but now I'm just another arrogant bastard who happens to be a superhero. Fuck you, you don't care. This is fun. You don't care. Look at the buildings moving around." So we were like, "Yeah, we don't care. It's just a movie." But here, there was just a lot of scenes where. Because I really loved Natalie Portman's acting too. Like I loved her change.
Yeah,
I could tell she was bulky, but like the hospital scenes too, and then the sudden adoptee daughter thing. Like I wish there was just 10 minutes more where we can. There was just foreshadowing of like God Butcher's daughter becoming Thor's adopted daughter. Like it just happened so quickly.
Yeah,
it was just so fast, and there was just so many distractions in between. And Zeus thing was, see, this is another problem with the end credit thing.
Oh, I think we saw Hercules.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine, but like, Zeus comes and he it kind of blew like the gas out of me before the final scene. Like, I don't even understand why that Thunderbolt is so special in the first place. You got Stormbreaker. Just. Didn't you like chop off like
Thanos' head with
his arm with that? Like, of course you can handle God Butcher, and just a lot of things that went too quickly. So I mean, but I had a lot of fun. What'd you think about the joke between like Mjolnir and like Stormbreaker being jealous? Like,
yeah, that just gave me a chuckle, but. I was actually more entertained by Zeus and his confrontation with Thor.
Oh, okay.
That was a little more entertaining.
No, because I want to talk about the jokes before we go there. It's like the jokes there's just too many kinds of jokes here too. Like tonally, one are for like children dumb jokes. Another one is like boys level sinister, except this is not a rated R thing, so you can't do it. What I like about The Boys is that all the jokes are horrible. Like all the jokes are meant to be like toilet humor with a lot of blood in it. So like there's no inconsistency there. But here, like one time it's like a family friendly joke, and then you got ghosts screaming, and then maybe we can eat them as meat, like the scream, like humans scream, looking at you, and then Zeus gets penetrated, and then because like that sex joke with like Thor's like big pee being impressing everybody. That was funny, but if they didn't handle it well, it almost went for me to that like Transformer 2 joke about the Devastator's balls.
Yeah, the big metal balls.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of like dangerous areas there that I think the director, being a genius, like,
I'm pretty sure it would have gone off the rails, but since it's from Disney now, I'm pretty sure they kind of got him under control. No,
but I think like even his like Look in the Shadow, he's really good at that. He's really good at playing on the borders. Except I felt like a lot of jokes, like we just got too many different kind of jokes maybe. No, but this is kind of nitpicking. The jokes were funny. It just didn't. It was just in a.
Oh, and I actually was also very entertained by the cameos. Matt Damon and what's the guy from Jurassic Park playing Odin. Yeah, that was funny.
They were in Ragnarok too.
And what was her name? Melissa McCarthy. Playing Hela. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, but even that scene, like I felt like Ragnarok's was funnier though. Like Loki, no! The first one, like he's this. I'll tell them about you. So here it's a little bit less funny, but it's like a repeat. But I don't know. But but it's like a Ragnarok spinoff basically for me.
But one thing I also don't like about it is, you know how Marvel always sets up the next piece through the post-credit scene? After I saw Hercules, like you said, it kind of blew the steam off my expectations. Because I'm not really looking forward to it.
No, like, because, see, here's another problem. Because now I have to mention Guardian of the Galaxy. I was really disappointed at how fast that just, like, ended. Because, like, one of the most exciting thing for me was when Infinity War and Thanos saga ended was Thor joining the Guardian of the Galaxy. So in my mind, I was expecting a movie where all those characters from start to finish stay together and like save the galaxy or something. And I thought Thor was a fantastic addition because, you know, Guardian of the Galaxy are funny, and we saw the funny, humorous version of Thor, right? But except, like, the first 10 minutes, they already say goodbye. And it's back to Thor basically at Ragnarok again. So I was a little bit disappointed at that. It's just like watching watching Multiverse of Madness after WandaVision. Yeah. Because I thought she went through all that, and then suddenly reset, I'm a bad girl again. There's a conflict, and then, so, you know, because I was really, like, hoping to see Chris Pratt and Hemsworth, like, do this comedic.
Well, not only those two, I was actually finding, what's his name? Rocket. Rocket and Thor, a better combination.
Oh, right.
Remember how Rocket, like, slapped Thor's face?
Yeah.
When he was losing his shit.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
So basically, I was hoping for a plot line, kind of like Lethal Weapon series, where like two guys, you know, or a mixture of any alpha male ending up bros, because, you know, they had that tension before, but that was just gone. So I was a little disappointed. Yeah. But I don't know, but I wish they didn't kill off female Thor though. I really liked that, and I love the creative use of the Mjolnir, like shotgun mode.
Oh yes,
that was a smart. Yeah. That was brilliant idea. I wish they showed even more of that, like her just exploding the hammer in front of the bad guy. That was really, really good.
Yeah, that was pretty creative. Because after the shock we felt from Hela destroying the Mjolnir was pretty big. It's like, how I thought that thing was indestructible, but now because it's shattered to pieces, it has its own character.
And that brings up another good point. Like, I thought in Ragnarok, like, Thor could just shoot thunder now. Like, why can't he do that again?
Yeah, that's another question.
Yeah,
because I remember Odin asking Thor,
"Are you the god of hammer?
Are you the god of hammer?
Or God of Thunder?" And then suddenly in Infinity War, you have to get the Stormbreaker again. But here, like, why can't you shoot like lightning out of your hands? Yeah. Why do you need Stormbreaker? So.
Oh, and I like the kids getting supercharged by lightning.
Oh yeah, that was a brilliant scene.
Yeah, and fighting those monsters, especially the girl with the bunny.
Oh yeah,
that one was my favorite.
The kids going ape shit was a funny scene. Like, see, this is why. I mean, I know we nitpicked a little, but adding just 10 minutes would have solved all of this. Like, I felt like just like there were just golden scenes, but as a whole movie, it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't cohesive well. You know, that was a shame. Yeah. And the bad guys, see, like, even I'm tired of seeing this CG minions. Like, CG minions, stop. Like, who are these, like, alien-like creatures, and why do we care? And
that's one thing Hela did better than the God Butcher. You don't need the minions if you're powerful. I mean, remember the guy's name was God Butcher. So does he really need the help of those little monsters?
Yeah, no, but why does that sword come out of nowhere? Like, I wish. See, this is like, there's just so many mythologies here that are just like fast forwarded. You know, like, I don't know. It's a shame. So
yes, we were entertained, but it could have been a lot better with some extra time and a little more attention to detail.
No, don't get me wrong. I was never bored, and if this is on TV or something, I might watch it again. If I'm on an airplane, I might watch it again. But it's not something like, because in Ragnarok, like I wanted to watch it over and over again with the Led Zeppelin music. Then it was so dumb and like, okay, so here it is. It's a similar movie with similar ingredients. I felt like Ragnarok just came out a better menu. Like it's like a hamburger that's perfectly balanced, like the right amount of cheese. Burger, the bun is fried well. Here, I think they put too much onion in it or something. Like there's just a little too much of like something sweet there.
I did like the Guns N' Roses music, so yes, they've done a fantastic job here.
Right.
Like they had Led Zeppelin in Ragnarok, but this time it's all Guns N' Roses. Not bad.
It was good. But hats off to like Thor, man. I never seen him this big. He's huge. He's like,
can't believe how much workout he had to go through for this.
I know, but I do miss Loki though. Like without Loki, somehow, I don't know. I wish if they make a Thor 5, and then I'm assuming they're already doing another like season 2 of Loki, preparing it.
I'm pretty sure they will meet again.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because we know that Loki still is somewhere out there.
Because I really want a scene where, like, Thor reacts to Loki going out with Sylvie, which is another Loki.
And also, Thor's reaction to Loki, who went through redemption. A redeemed Loki. That'd be interesting.
No, but in Thor's mind, like, he already met his redeemed Loki. He died.
Well, that was a little short, though.
No. They spent Ragnarok together, remember? And they made up, and then finally they're friends, and then Loki tried to be an asshole again, but he just saw him die in front of his arms. So like, if he meets a Loki, he's gonna cry. That's just the first thing he's gonna do. Why are you alive? Who are you? And then Loki will be like, "Oh my God, you are my universe version of Thor," because he also met a lot of other Thors. So that I think that could be. Maybe that would be in a like the big bad movie.
Yeah.
Like
so
a touching scene.
We can suspect that they're probably building this up. And I think more will be revealed if Loki's second season ever comes out.
But like now we know for sure that every Thor movies in the past should have been called Thor and Loki.
Yeah. Oh, and one more thing. Remember how we see the what's it called? Valhalla. Jane Foster meeting Heimdall in heaven. So I wonder what that's about. Maybe they also have a role to play in the future.
Maybe. I guess, because like, see, but that makes me excited and worried at the same time. I think, like, what are the rules of this stuff?
Because I think this is like a Dragon Ball thing.
Yes,
yeah,
like
because
Dragon
like
Ball.
Dragon Ball, like Goku dies and everybody's like, "Oh my God, what do we do now? All hope is lost." But they can bring him back.
I guess that's why it's called the multiverse. But here, like, but they did explain this in Moon Knight. They did explain about the world of the dead for each like world being different, right? So like the Black Panther one is that jaguar tree, and maybe this is the version for the Asgardians. So like that does make sense, and that would be interesting. Then actually, then maybe Lady Thor will be back.
Yeah, so maybe they will have like a special movie or a series dedicated to the afterworld.
Interesting, and they could come back to, help fight Kang, or that's actually not a bad idea. And you know what? After like listening to that, maybe we shouldn't be too harsh on the comic book thing going too crazy, because we want that.
And remember, although it sounds cheesy, it worked in Dragon Ball. I mean, we laugh about it now, but when we were reading it, it was enticing.
No, but the thing about Dragon Ball is like, no matter how chaotic it gets, it's just one universe. But here it's just like so many dimensions to it now. I feel, and Dragon Ball is led by Goku. Like I don't care about his son, his grandson, whatever. Like Goku is the heart of Dragon Ball, and everybody else is basically a side character. Like if you put Goku in, it just solves every problem. Like, no, seriously, like we love Goku so much. That's why if he dies, he wants to come back. And all the Yamcha and the other guys are just like they're like French fries. They maybe taste fantastic, but they're not the burger. But Goku makes everything better. Like, and Goku turning Super Saiyan 3 was the best scene I ever seen. Like, you can't compare that to. I know. Everybody has different tastes, but anyway. So, what would you give Love and Thunder a grade?
I would give it okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's like a 6, right? 10 out of 6 out of 10.
Maybe 5.5. 5.5, 6. Yeah, 6.
6.
I would give it a 6.
I'll give it a 5 because like I felt nothing after watching it. Like I'm just reminded of the story now that we're talking about it. It's just like it like for some reason. See, this is why no matter how much CG and budget you put in, it doesn't make a memorable movie. Like, and I found the dialogue a lot lacking too. It was good, especially the comedy, but the other like more serious one were just not that good.
Oh, and compared to recent Marvel, I mean Phase 4 of Marvel Cinematic Universe, I can say this: I think for me, Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings was more entertaining than this.
Oh,
I like that movie a lot better than this.
No, see, Shang-Chi had a much more simpler story. That's why. It's about the father and son. And that just carries the whole movie. Yeah, there's a badass sister and the whole drama thing, but it's also here that this doesn't have that. God Butcher and Thor are strangers. I just hate God, so you happen to be a god, I'm gonna kill you. I'm Thor, I have to save the world. Haha, let's go. So like there's no drama because in Shang-Chi the most memorable scene is for me before the cave opens. You remember that scene? They duel, right? And then what did he say? Something really mean to his son, like about the mother.
Oh, you stood and watched.
Yeah. Oh, right. And what did you do? You stood and watched. And then like
and that scene and like the moment, just the moment before the father dies by that weird monster. You know the way he looks at his son and sends him those rings. Yeah. That was a powerful scene.
Oh, and I love like Shang-Chi because I felt like Shang-Chi was more original too. Like because they had a really I think difficult job of how to mix every Asian culture together. They're like we can't piss any of them off, so they have to fuse, especially the Southeast Asia, Japanese, Chinese cultures. Like, and I felt like they did really well. I really felt that. But you know what the problem with Phase 4 is? I think maybe they spent all their energy on. What's that movie? The Spider-Man one. Oh, it's like
no Way Home.
You know, in terms of quality, like Spider-Man is here, and every one of them is like, yeah, whatever. I think that's like their machine gun tactic. No, but Shang-Chi, no. Hey, but like Eternals, like you know what? I'm gonna give Eternals more credit now because I felt like Eternal was a lot more boring than this movie, but I think Eternals just had more ambition. Like in terms of like scope and the story they try to tell. And Eternals like it's a very weak movie, but there are like this movie some memorable scenes and dialogue. And I just felt like in terms of ambition that was just way better.
Yeah.
And that didn't even have like S-listers. Like here you have Russell Crowe.
We have Matt Damon as Cameo. Yeah, that's
Natalie
right.
Portman. But Eternals at least had like scenes where I was in awe.
That's right. It's like the scene where the Celestial visits the Earth.
Yeah. And then when one of the new Celestial dies, there was this like grandeur. Here the weird thing is I don't know if it's how they shot it. Like none of the beautiful scene like stuck with me. It wasn't like no wonder like I was just like
at least Ragnarok had that final battle with that devil.
Right. The
when they're having the end of the world thing,
the flame god
apocalypse for the Asgardians. What was the name of that? Oh, that is Ragnarok. Okay. There. Armageddon. Yeah.
Here there was like the CG was beautiful, but weirdly none of the scenes were like spectacular. Like this kind of explains why Ridley Scott is an Academy Award winning director because like I guess Oh, look, this brings me to Obi-Wan. It brings up Obi-Wan too. Wow, it doesn't matter how much money you throw at it. Like, making a beautiful scene is a really difficult job.
Yeah.
I felt that. Here, there were some interesting monster designs. It's just none of them are really that special to me. Because even like Eternals, that had a really weak Dragon Ball scene between the monsters and the Eternals, but that last scene was still beautiful though. Like, a lot of last scenes were beautiful. But anyway, that's our take
on Thor,
Love and Thunder. Entertaining but flawed. Entertaining but flawed. Anyway, if you like our video, please press like and subscribe and leave a reply.
We'll take a quick break.
And then we'll talk about Better Call Saul episode 8. Season 6, episode 8. See you soon.
We'll be right back.